Hey guys, it is the Gaming Ronin, and 7.3 PTS is live now. If you haven't already, go download and check it out. We have economy changes, a new area on Voss, as well as a new flashpoint, and class changes. And of course, Annihilation got a change, so we're going to be talking about that today. Let's get into it. Right, so for those of you that don't know, Annihilation is getting one singular change in 7.3. Is this change good? Is this change bad? Is it everything I was hoping it would be? Yes and no. Well, let's first take a look at what the change is exactly. So the change is happening to Bloodlust, or if you're a Sentinel, this is happening to Burning Focus. This is one of your passives. You can find it here in the ability tree. Pretty much right in the same spot in line 51. And what it says is your direct damage attacks that hit a bleeding target build 1 rage, or for you Sentinels, 1 focus. What this currently says in the live servers on where you can play all of your regular tunes, this says your direct damage attacks that critically hit a bleeding target will build you 1 rage or 1 focus if you're a Sentinel. So all they did, they took out a single word, which was critically. You no longer need to critically hit. Just doing any direct damage will build you 1 rage. Of course, this can't occur more than once every 3 seconds, which more or less does leave us exactly in the same spot as we were, or as we are now. Overall, this unfortunately just doesn't really change anything, not to a massive degree, but it does bring us that tiniest, and I mean tiniest, bit of consistency, because we can abuse this and do something a little sneaky when we get low on rage, and that is using Ravage and Dual Saber Throw when we go down to 2 rage. And I mean exactly 2 rage, because while there is a chance that our Implant Dispatcher package will build us an additional rage if we do critically hit with these 2 abilities, you may or may not. So the situation is basically you're trying to get your 30 stack, you're at 26 or 28, and all of a sudden you now only have 2 rage. Instead of hitting Rupture, which is a low hitting damage attack, or hitting Battering Assault, which is also a low damage hitting attack, although we're going to be talking about Battering Assault again here in a second, basically you can opt out of those 2 options and use Ravage or Dual Saber Throw instead. Because they don't eat into your rage pool, you're going to maintain that 2 rage. But thanks to Bloodlust now saying, hey, you're doing direct damage, build a rage because your target is bleeding, you're going to build 1 rage. So when you're done with that attack, you're gonna be back at 3, so you can return to using Vicious Slash to build you that last 4 to bits of Fury, which is then going to allow you to use Berserk, and then you can use Force Rend and continue on your merry way, doing your normal rotation. The advantage of this is purely you are using stronger hitting attacks in place of weaker ones to get that Rage or Fury fully built up. There is a caveat here, though. It's not perfect. There have been a number of times in my testing so far where, unfortunately, just before I used Ravage, I built a Rage, and it got eaten up, as I did probably a Vicious Slash or an Annihilate, and Ravage just was unable to build me that 1 singular rage that I was hoping it would. And you definitely cannot use this to build you any kind of amount of rage when you go down to 1 or 0. When you're at 1 or 0, you definitely have to be using Battering Assault if you want to get a good amount built back. You just have to. There's no choice there. So you've got to make sure that you see the correct amount and know that when you do hit Ravage, there's a small gamble. There's a good chance you will build that one Rage. There is going to be a video coming out after this where I did some parsing for you guys. And I did use Ravage multiple times when I was down to 2 Rage consecutively, and it got me to 3. I was able to use the Vicious Slash, went up to 30 stack, popped my Berserk, popped my Force Strain. Things were beautiful and wonderful, but it happened so much consecutively, I was eventually forced to use a Rupture. I just didn't have a choice. Both Battering Assault and Ravage were on cooldown. It was kind of insane. But things were kept going smoothly, but there was a chance of failure there. So this change, while it is good, while it is leagues better than what is currently on live, it isn't our savior at all in any way. This isn't gonna make it so that way, you know, we can get rid of Dispatcher because we're just generating so much rage. We have an overabundance. We can, you know, use something else like Fearless Victor. No, you still absolutely need Dispatcher to function normally. You just don't have a choice in that. So unfortunately, this isn't the biggest of changes that I was kind of hoping that it would, you know, secretly be. Like, it is kind of just like, yeah, we're just taking away the RNG and we're giving you something that can only cure once every 3 seconds. There's still that 3 seconds is still a really long time, and there are just moments where I completely ran out of rage and I couldn't do anything. And I was just left scrambling or having to give up on the parse, or I just had to roll with it and just have a ruined line of rotation. And I would be forced to recover at that point. And it was something, and you know, I would have a parse that would have been really good, was now kind of just, you know, just mediocre overall. So that's the update to Annihilation, unfortunately. It's not what I was hoping it would be, but it was worth hoping that this would do more than it said it was doing. But it's still pretty nice. It's still pretty good that I can more reliably gamble on a Ravage to push me back to 3 Rage, so I can use Vicious Slash to get that last little bit of Fury and be able to pop Berserk and use Force Rend. That is a win at the end of the day. So it's not what I was hoping for, but it's something. It is a step in the right direction on BioWare's part. They just need to do something else to fully get this class out from being, you have to be, you know, a freaking seer and pick the right choice. You know, do I build Fury? Do I build Rage? Every freaking ability. And honestly, I think they could do it if they changed up Bleeding Center just a little bit. Just the tiniest bit. The absolute best thing they could do is remove this effect cannot occur more than once every 2 seconds. Just entirely remove that line. That would be best case scenario. We would just be building Fury all the time, and now things aren't as big of an issue. The class would be way easier to use, and there could be a whole slew of rotations that could be created off of that. But if they do kind of want to keep things kind of slower, still kind of like, hey, you know, we're not going to give you all the resources, they could keep that one line and change the 2 Fury to 3. What this would do is, when Berserk is active, currently, you know, as it is with just the build 2 Fury, while Berserk is active, you'll get 4 Fury out of it. So when Berserk goes away and you're moving on and you're having to build your Fury back up to 30, you're going to be starting at 4. That is what currently happens. If they change it to 3, you would go to 6. And basically, you would be able to, what that would do, if we were able to come out of Berserk with 6 Fury, typically you start off with an ability that builds you Fury. So Vicious Slash or Annihilate, you build 4. That would put us at 10. That would essentially be like we picked Juyo Rend, right? And, you know, using Force Wind, you just generate that 10 Fury. And it would allow them to take away Juyo Rend and make it into something else. Make it into something that could rival the damage that Draining Center offers. Or do something else with it instead of it just being a resource builder. That way, Bleeding Center is kind of like, no, you kind of have to pick this no matter what. Blood Fury is just so minimal in its damage build, like in its damage, you're not going to take this anyway. And pretty much no one in the Warrior and Knight classes use Furious Power because it's just awful. Because honestly, 15 seconds is too long. If it was down at like 10 seconds, this would actually be pretty useful. It would be actually something worth, you know, talking about and utilizing. If we could bring it down to 10 seconds instead of, you know, trying to bring it down from 15 seconds. But we're going to just pretend it doesn't exist. So that would be that would be the best thing for them to do, is change up how much Fury Bleeding Center gives us. Either remove this effect can't occur more than once every 2 seconds, or allow us to build a little bit more. Just that one more would be perfect. That would be enough to solve a lot of the issues that Annihilation has right now. So there it is. That is the change to Annihilation and Watchmen. It's not what I was hoping it would be, but it is better than nothing. So we just are gonna have to continue to live with it and our RNG resources. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that. Let me know if you've been on the PTS. Let me know if you've been checking out Annihilation to see if this actually changed anything and what your experience has been. Has it been good? Has it been bad? I'd love to know. Until next time, guys, I've been the Gaming Ronin, and I'll see you in a galaxy far, far away. Take care.